we will look to the lights after the short pause built into the regulations this year. When they go out, we'll be sprinting in Montreal. The first ever sprint race in Canada is underway. Good launch off the line for George Russell, but Kimi Antonelli will be under pressure. The Mercedes hold position. They have managed to get off the line and hold their 1-2. Crucial improvements for them. What's the boot off the line for Lewis Hamilton? Can he gain a place? The answer is yes. He goes past Oscar Piastri. He's the big winner on the opening lap so far. Mercedes 1-2. Russell, Antonelli, Norris, and now Hamilton P4.
Couple of weeks off for Mercedes, and they finally learned how to get off the line then. Those good starts from practice come to fruition at the start of this race, and they hold position. Antonelli was deep into the first corner as well, making sure that Lando Norris couldn't do anything about him, and indeed he couldn't. Up into third place or staying in third place, up into fourth for Lewis Hamilton, and he has been a man on a mission so far this weekend. Let's see if now he can get his head down and chase Norris.
So Lewis Hamilton has ditched the simulator. He's running on instinct, and his instinct around here is superlative. 7 times a Grand Prix winner. Kimi Antonelli putting the charge on at the moment. There's a late breaking move for Esteban Ocon to the inside of Sergio Perez.
Russell so angled across to make sure he cut Antonelli off. Kimi didn't get such a good getaway, but it's dirty on the outside of the grid there. So considering that, he did well. There's the speed he carried in to make sure no one could attack him into turn 1. Missed the apex slightly, but there was no attack from further back because the Mercedes got great launches. Hamilton round the outside, hanging it round the outside of Oscar Piastri.
Nico Hülkenberg, who was in 11th, he's now in 15th. This looks to be the reason why.
Yeah, brave man trying to hang it round the outside. Antonelli's closing on the way up to 8. This is the closest he's been.
Problem for Isaac Hadjar. The 2x2 formation of the big teams has fallen away.
Engine problem.
Okay, we're investigating.
Wide moment for Russell. The crowd rise because we're about to see the two teammates do battle. Wide in the turn 10 hairpin. Russell now checking the mirror, having to go defensive. Antonelli has been on a charge for 3 rounds in a row, and they're side by side for the first time as contenders for the title.
Oh, he brushed the grass on the way in, Antonelli. He brushed the grass. He got away with it. Going to go fighting again towards 1.
Russell up against Antonelli, very tight between the two of them. Antonelli outside line, contact off the road. That is so close. Russell stays cool and has the lead, but they're finally brawling at the front between the Mercedes pair.
It'll continue again. Antonelli across the grass. Russell saw him coming, and Russell right up against the wall, exited turn 4, trying to break away, but he can't. Antonelli's still there. This is the most ambitious move, I think, for a race lead in Montreal. From this far back, round the outside. I mean, he sort of gets there at the apex.
Wide! And again, Antonelli tries the lunge. He rejoins. Extraordinary lap between the two Mercedes, and it costs Antonelli second place. Through goes Lando Norris. Will it be late on the brakes for Antonelli? No!
That was very naughty.
What does confidence of a 19-year-old look like in Formula One? He was prepared to go all in against Russell, and it's cost him points.
Well, how has Antonelli got to the point where he's lunged with a lock brake at that corner? You should never be close enough there. So something's gone on. I can't believe. Has he tried to just do a sneaky one with some boost mode and energy from the battery? I don't know. Norris is loving this, up into second place.
So let's just get this back under control, Kimi. Focus on Norris. Focus on the driving.
I don't care. He put me out.
Kimi, concentrate on the driving, please, and not on the radio moaning.
And there's Alex Albon in the path.
That's not kind. He will jump out of the way now, but Russell's been compromised into that chicane.
That's what he's doing. It's just a bit of a road.
And Russell calm on the radio, but not calm with what he was seeing in front of him. And that gap now, there's under a second between the top 3. Hamilton reporting that he hit the wall of champions. Final corners of the racetrack, through the chicane, and a brush of the wall, a little bit more than a brush of the wall. 2 laps to go of this one. 1 at the end of this one. Penultimate tour for George Russell. So much made of it. You can see how much Lando Norris is pushing. Slightly squirmy on the exit. Does that open the door for Kimi Antonelli, who will be desperate for a chance to improve up to second? Slight lock-up Not even that for Lando Norris, and there's no way by unless you're super brave on the brakes, but the world champion felt the need to waft to the middle of the racetrack.
Forces the defence, and that's going to force a slow front straight. Can Antonelli do anything, though? It's such a tricky move to make around the outside.
Talking of the outside, Piastri's got past Hamilton, Antonelli going wide, but he can't make the move for second place. The McLaren's under big pressure, and that will be the position retaken by Lando Norris. Norris in second, Antonelli in third, and with a move at the chicane, Oscar Piastri gets up to fourth. And this was very, very tight. Antonelli giving it everything. Had a lot of faith to use that part of the racetrack. No grip out there. There's barely grip on the racing line this weekend, Alex.
And that's been the problem, hasn't it? It's you can get the overspeed, and you go down the outside, and the part of the racetrack that everybody's not been using for qualifying and the rest of the weekend just has absolutely no grip at all. It's almost like a into to dry scenario where trying to make those moves off the racing line was so difficult. Here's the move from then Piastri down the outside of Lewis Hamilton. Oh, it's tight through there.
We saw that on board on the left-hand side, and I didn't clock that Charles Leclerc had followed him through as a result. They are rising to applaud George Russell, who said the sprint pole was a minor part of the weekend. He will add 8 points to his tally in the World Championship, but crucially, he knows there is Grand Prix qualifying to come and 25 points available for Grand Prix victory. But when it comes to the sprint, the good times continue to roll for George Russell. Got his elbows out. George Russell wins his second sprint of the season and the first ever held at the Canadian Grand Prix. Norris in second and Antonelli in third. It's very tight to the line, and going through on that last lap was Charles Leclerc, who nearly got Piastri. He was 1/10 of a second away. Hamilton went from fourth on the penultimate tour to sixth by the end. Verstappen was in seventh, and it is Arvid Lindblad who's going to come home for only second ever Formula One point scoring finish. He will be P8.
Nice work today. Good job.
Lando was quick there. Yeah, good job.
Kimi, so let's check the flag.
Yeah, if we need to race like this, then good to know.
Kimi, now it's the fourth time to talk about this. We talk about this internally and not on the radio, okay?
Kimi Antonelli going side by side for a win with his teammate for the first time. Still angry at what transpired earlier in the sprint. George Russell taking the checkered flag. He won by 1.2 seconds ahead of Lando Norris. Kimi Antonelli completing the top three. Then it was Oscar Piastri ahead of Charles Leclerc after Piastri went wheel to wheel with Hamilton, and the Monegasque driver was able to get through. Hamilton P6. The gap between the top two in the championship stands at 18 points.